majority of the draft will be done by the players.
Definitely something to keep a track of as we get into the champion select. Fiora and Thresh will be the first two ones coming out from Origen. Kalista banned away from Sven right off the bat by H2K, followed by Lulu.
Yeah, pretty standard ban here. Forgiven doesn't play Kalista, Sven does. It's kind of a joke in itself. Lulu banned out, again, taking away the potential for Origen to draft an hyper carry composition tailored to Sven. That is something they've been strong at. If you look at their gold distribution as well, Sven gets a lot of gold or he earns a lot of gold. It doesn't matter how he gets it, he just has it. So if you can get a composition built around him, especially in a Karma meta, that may prove troublesome for H2K.
A lot of the wins have definitely been around Sven. He's been the backbone of Origen, consistently doing well. Maybe, other than yesterday, he was getting hit by a lot of stray bannings by Ica, for example. So we'll have to see how he does today, but it definitely seemed like a blip on the radar because overall, he's been fantastic. Cogmon was the final ban, so we're not going to see that on either of these AD carries today. But the first pick was insta-locked in, Nidalee coming in there for amazing.
Yeah, I wonder if H2K is going with the traditional answer, which is Corki Lucian on this rotation. It used to be, obviously Corki has seen some nerfs, so the flex potential is a little bit down. I mean, he is strong in both roles still, but he's weaker, so there may not actually be merit to just picking him. Maybe just pick up the Lucian here for Forgiven, get the Alistar on Vander away from Mithy. Could be a good rotation. There's just a lot of power picks over here. It's all dependent on what H2K have as goal in mind.
I mean, you hit the nail on the head. There's so many power picks available. It just depends where H2K wants to prioritize as we're waiting on those first two picks. And they are waiting so long for it because there is so much to go for. Potential Lucian could be coming in here, and that makes sense. Yeah, Lucian and Alistar. Nailed it, Crepo.
Yeah, once in a while, the prediction, and then of course it's like, yeah, I totally knew this was coming. The other times where you mispredict, you just, yeah, it looks like the other team is picking right now. No, yeah, Soaz has to find a champion. I wonder what Origen is gonna hide, what they're gonna pick. Obviously, they can look for some flex picks too. Corki's available, Gangplank still on the table. Would be risky though. H2K, who generally play well with strong lanes, to pick a Gangplank into that and go for a scaling component, especially when you have a Nidalee jungle who kind of likes stronger lanes. We've seen Soaz get a lot of enemy jungle attention too, so kind of puts the Gangplank in the dumpster if it's top. So it's likely that we see Gangplank mid here, I feel, and then Corki on the bottom lane, but the counter argument to that is then PoE doesn't strike me as a Gangplank player.
Yeah.
And Soaz used to be a fantastic Gangplank player.
I mean, Soaz has already played one Gangplank game so far. We've never really seen Power of Evil pick up the Gangplank in the mid lane, but we'll see how it does. Of course, we saw Peppy earlier today pick that one up and do exceptionally well. Now waiting for the response in from H2K. There's still a lot on the table in terms of junglers. Elise has been taken away. Nidalee has been picked up. Kindred, Gragas are open.
I think it's important that H2K hide Rio's pick here, so they can have a strong counter pick in the mid lane. And that will kind of just make it so that for, Power of Evil can't win the push, can't get the prio in the mid lane, and that shuts down a lot of counter jungling potential from Nidalee. Because if your mid laner can move first, obviously you can always aid in there, and especially when you have Jankos playing a strong dueling champion like Lee Sin, it will be hard for Amazing to pull off the traditional jungle style of Nidalee, which is just outpace your opponent. So I like that H2K is leaving their mid lane pick to last.
And the other pickup was Nautilus along with the Lee Sin coming in for Jankos. So we're going to see Oda while they actually take Nautilus into the top lane most likely. It's so interesting because recently we've seen Nautilus come back into the top lane. We've seen him pick up the ZZ Rod and the banner build. So we'll see what he does in this game. And now, while OG will have control over what they want in the top lane, they have to blind pick something into the mid.
The Braum is almost guaranteed for Origen. If Alistar's off the table, you have a tank lane and a non-tank in the top lane. You kind of want some peel, so Braum is, in my opinion, the best one on the table. Tahm Kench kind of fulfills that purpose. He doesn't really peel, just eats the guy that gets focused. Also an answer. But yeah, I was expecting the Braum a little more here, so I'm a bit surprised that Mithy ends up going for the Tahm Kench.
I kind of like the Tahm Kench because depth charge goes down, you just eat the guy.
No, definitely agree there. I think it's a good choice, I just wasn't expecting.
Yeah, for sure. And then the other pickup is Ahri as well going into the mid lane. So now we know where the Gangplank's going. It's going to go on to Soaz. This is an old special from him, so we'll see how it works out.
Yeah, if Ryu goes for like a LeBlanc here, and just wants to play the pressure game, he can win that matchup against Ahri. Then we have a losing matchup in the mid lane. The Gangplank will be under pressure early, and Amazing will have a hard time counter jungling, so we kind of has to weave through the pushes. Can still achieve it, but it'll be a little more dangerous game.
Well, waiting for that final pickup from H2K, which will complete their roster and complete this champion select. It will be for the mid lane on Ryu. We'll have to see if he goes back to carries because, I mean, when we've been looking at Selfie, he's gone for like Lissandra, Jace, for example, kind of filling in the blanks for the team, being his band-aid, whereas Ryu was that shot caller, he was making proactive plays, maybe didn't see as much of that yesterday as we really wanted to. The team definitely trying to find their groove back with Ryu, and now the last pickup will be LeBlanc, so put him on a playmaker. Yeah,
just LeBlanc does well into the Ahri because it's so hard. There's a way to nullify every engagement on LeBlanc in theory, but that means you have to charm every single distortion. And distortion, not only is it hard to predict when he's going to use it, he can use it into any direction. So there's too many variables. And then you only nullify the distortion.
Yep.
It's so hard to play that matchup, so LeBlanc has the pressure edge early. And later on, especially like level 5, you can W in, get the chain off, and you don't need to damage yourself because your jungler can just start connecting once the chain lands. So a lot of outplay potential there.
Do you think we're going to see a potential lane swap in this one? We have the Nautilus being picked up and the Gangplank in the top lane. Are you going to try and shut them down with Forgiven and Vander?
I think that's a good point you bring up there. If you look at Alistar, Lucian should lane slightly better than Tahm Kench Corki in a 2v2. You have a Gangplank that almost has to lose into a Nautilus, I feel, whenever he connects a snare. A lot of damage. I think it's better for Origen to speed up the game and hide the Gangplank in a lane swap, and that will likely be what they're looking for.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen both of these teams do that a lot, so we'll see if that actually happens in the early game. Something to keep track of for sure. Now we have the full compositions on your screen, all of these locked in, so make sure to join the discussion on Twitter, #OGWin and #H2K-win as we get into this game. Locked at the top of the table. We'll see how this one works out very shortly as we get into game, which will be soon. And let's go. We are getting on to the Rift, ladies and gentlemen. So join us on Twitter, join us in the studio, get hype, we're getting into game.
I didn't notice you there, turning around to the crowd.
How's it going?
Turn up for what? This game about to get going. Origen, they need to prove something here. If they really want to solidify any position above 6th, they really need to start getting some wins because the end of the season is upon us soon.
Yep. Every win matters a lot for these two teams. OG kind of sat in the middle of the table. We saw them almost struggle yesterday. We'll see if they can take on the top of the table. So far, not a great track record.
Okay, OG are doing the classic, let's fake a line of scrimmage, send our top lane or jungle standard positions, and then go around from the top lane. Hopefully, they were hoping for somebody to duel Soaz on his way in. They collapse. H2K went for deep vision. We see a flash here, and Ryu has to dash out or flash out because his dash was on cooldown. Both teams stuck the wrong part of town.
Yeah, Forgiven as well. Took a tower shot, so did Oda. This is not going well for H2K. Potential punch from OG. More flashes being used. Distortion out by Ryu. H2K lost a lot of resources on that.
Yeah, H2K put so much priority on getting that division, and Origen were just a death ball running around, poking Ryu first, Oda later. Summer is used left, right, and center, and this kind of loses them a lot of pressure, and this pressure is fundamental at keeping the Nidalee outside of their jungle. So this may actually trickle down and have a snowball effect on the game.
Potential tempo being opened up in this game. Sven and Miffy on the top side of the map. So what are H2K going to do here? We're going to see Soaz go towards the bottom side, not double jungling just yet. Vander's going to spot him out as he moves back into the mid lane with Power of Evil.
And that's what Soaz wanted. Just in the event that there was a predict lane swap by H2K here in the end, Soaz would obviously have to path to the bottom lane to start laning 1v1. Doesn't want to lose his teleport because in that matchup, you need teleport to equalize. He sees Vander, he's really happy. It's like, okay guys, we're actually playing a lane swap right now. Go a little later on the double jungle. Doesn't matter because Nidalee's clear is so quick. So this is what Origen wanted and what H2K wanted to avoid.
So looking at the keystones, pretty standard up and down the board. Of course, Miffy going for Bond of Stone, top lane going for Grasp the Undying, fantastic on Gangplank, and also Oda, as they will be, at least Oda will be stacking health and hitting people with the parlay. Empowered Grasp the Undying is great in lane. Now in bottom lane, we're just seeing the standard setups and the tower push coming in. Soaz as well, as Gangplank is actually really good at pushing towers because of Trial by Fire, and he can hit a barrel, get it back, Trial by Fire, and it's true damage on the tower.
Trial by Fire. Love the name, by the way.
Yeah, it's definitely some cool ability names. I really want to cast a Jhin, though. He has the best ability names.
Look at that that exquisite wave clear mechanics there. You know, the reverse Valkyrie, the mini Rumble ultimate into some barrels popping.
Definitely a very mini Rumble ultimate. I don't think you get the same value out of it, but... Oh, Ryu getting charmed in the middle lane. There's the distortion afterwards, and
sidesteps
both of them. As the sidestep comes in from Power of Evil, really nice mind games.
Yeah, because Ryu's down a summoner, PoE is playing with absolute freedom in this lane. He has Ignite available, so does Ryu, but there's a flash. If ever Power Evil misplays, he can always flash out. Ryu does not have that option. Ryu needs to continuously realize that if he distortions in, that is his only gap closer. So the entire matchup shifts right now.
So interesting in the middle lane. All rippling from that first play we saw in from Origen, getting a slice advantage. This is something you really just don't pick up on until you really see it.
And if you see the wave like here, you can backtrace what happened. PoE did push in the first 2 waves, pushed it into tower and bounced it, and he's in the ideal position to be in, because look at Amazing. He's now pathing down, no wards on the left side for Ryu, so pressure is being put on the crucial matchup in the mid lane for jungle influence.
Amazing is waiting for it. Ryu's going to be backing to the tower. Perfectly predicts his movement path. Will chase after, looking for the takedown.
Oi.
The auto attack, the spear. It does not land, and Ryu gets out alive.
He cancelled his auto attack. That would likely have been the kill. 1 auto, 2 more red buff ticks. Not quite sure, but it would have been close. Amazing stuttering on the stutter step right there. Doesn't quite get that kill. That could have been really big for the game.
Yeah, ultimately, it's still pressure going down. Power of Evil managed to free farm that wave, essentially, while Ryu had to go back to base. And you will see a CS advantage open up over the next couple seconds as Ryu comes back into lane. Now, because of that play happening mid lane and they knew Amazing was low, Vander and Jankos will head into the enemy jungle, knowing they'll be uncontested.
Yeah, and Origen really happy with this kind of reverse swap coming out now. Again, they don't want to leave Gangplank in any of these lanes just yet. Just want to get as much gold as early as they can, but there will be a crucial phase right after this when both side lanes are elongated, and you kind of need to see if Soaz can survive. If Origen can manipulate the waves into a freeze somewhere, hide Soaz there, and then make the other lanes kind of fight 4v5 or survive, that's the ideal scenario. They want to enable him, and so often this season we've seen Soaz not being enabled, being put in the dumpster by the enemies by just being 2v1 or misplaying individually.
I want to see what Soaz does in this game as well, like, because he'll be in the side lane, he'll be looking to duel people like he was with the Fiora as well, and he was just stuck in one mindset. It's like, I am going to split push this game, and if I get ahead, then great. If I fall behind, then not great. And luckily, over time, Poppy couldn't really pressure him, so he was able to get ahead.
Yeah, wave bounced in the bot lane to Soaz. They choose to freeze or push it. He's likely doing a bit of a risky play here, but we know that H2K plays a very lane pressure style, so they will never catch the freeze if Soaz bounces his back, as we see the Rift Tower being taken here. Soaz just giving that lane bottom, yeah, a little bit of a push, but just making sure that he gets as much CS as he can, and then he'll disappear, go somewhere else.
Back into the shadows, and then will appear elsewhere very shortly. Amazing just going through his jungle once again, and is definitely ahead of Jankos in terms of farm and experience. Mid lane, Ryu jumping on Power of Evil, putting a little bit of damage down, but Power of Evil again with the side steps, and all these skill shots are just not landing.
Yeah, just taking control of this matchup, and now the hardest part of the matchup is kind of over for Power of Evil, because he can always reinitiate at least with ulti and make some creative plays. The CS is only even though, like only 6 ahead here for Power of Evil, and just this flash level 1 for Ryu, it matters so much. Just influences every play you can potentially do.
I think the CS is going to open up a little more because there was a minion wave to resolve, so, but even so. Here comes Vander and Jankos. The synergy we can see between the support and the jungle still following through.
No, that's definitely worth bringing up here. Vander and Jankos together, just one of the best, if not currently the best jungle support combination out there. They just operate with sheer pressure, and they enable either Ryu, but most of the time they enable Forgiven. Look at the wards Forgiven now has at his disposal, and this is why Soaz was also not freezing that lane earlier, because he knew Forgiven was coming, and Forgiven will just siege. PoE though going in, sidestep from Ryu.
Yeah, very nice by Ryu. Last ultimate will be just putting a bit more damage there. Now Ryu hits level 6. OG responds with the push in the top lane.
Yeah, and they just ignore the D-Vision. They say, H2K, we know you have control of our jungle in the bottom lane. We can't ever contest anything around these towers. We just keep trading turrets. H2K a little quicker though, and Odoamne will be able to hold this wave. So now, because of the Rift Herald, OG will have to back off. They're losing some damage here. Chips on their inhibitor turrets. If it doesn't go down, it's fine. It's unlikely that H2K will be here again soon.
These minions are disintegrating though. They haven't done a minion wave coming in, but there's no point really going for another push now that Power of Evil has arrived, and Soaz is also there as well. Dragon may be on the cards for H2K as an exit objective. Miffy and Sven still pressuring the top lane. Big wave here, but now with people disappearing from the map, it's no longer safe to be in the top side.
Yeah, very, very turret-oriented early game here. No fights, no first blood just yet. 0-0 on the board. But this has all accelerated the game, which means Gangplank is happy. He's almost level 6 right now, which is another failsafe. You getting dove, walk away, ulti the wave. Soaz is in a good spot here. We have said that often here in the European LCS.
Yeah, Soaz playing from ahead this time. Ryu moving into the middle lane, just picked up blue buff, looking for Abyssal Scepter on Power of Evil, maybe even the same from Ryu, picking up the Negatron Cloak, so may even see both of those.
Yeah, the one downside is though that Amazing, because he was so busy helping on the turret pushes, has not been able to use Nidalee's kit to really get a farm lead. He's even CS with Jankos. Now going for the counter jungle here. We have package on Ven. Could see some explosions.
You could. There's a lot of contesting going overhead, but there's the package as well from Sven. Going on to Forgiven, has been pulverized up. Jumps away with the second Valkyrie. Ravana takes a little bit of damage from the Frostbomb on the way out. Ilduwame was over the wall with Flash, just in case stuff went badly. Meanwhile, Soaz, he's in the bottom lane.
Farming.
Never seen that one before.
One man, 7 minions. Trial by fire. But yeah, really hesitation there on the side of Odoamne, or calculated approach. He was really close to flashing over the wall, but his team told him, no, we can't really get a kill here, save your flash. But OG, the fact that they managed to aggressively steal the enemy red buff with good use of package, good use of counter jungle Nidalee, and have their gangplank farm on the bottom lane, it almost seems like they wanted a cake and 82, but they succeeded.
Yeah, in the mid lane, so many small things are happening in these trades. Like you see the side steps from both Ryu and Power of Evil, which is just stopping the all-in from happening.
Yeah, and it's not what's happening here. Like there's multiple layers. You know, he knows that Power of Evil will likely sidestep it. Therefore, maybe he will aim to the left side. Power of Evil is then like, yeah, I know you're gonna predict that. So an outplay in this matchup can literally be standing still. Yeah. That's how crazy some of these matchups get. Especially if you look at bot lane Thresh, for example, too. Standing still can be an outplay.
Really crazy to think about. Vander may be caught out. He doesn't have Unbreakable will. He does have Flash. May have to use it. OG are cutting off both the escape routes, but now the re-engage comes in from H2K. Ryu from the mid lane looking to take down Amazing. There's the kick. And now Overwhelm, they will follow with the Riptide. Miffy may be caught out, but he's got the Grey health. The Dredge line lands onto the Catfish, but will not net the kill. Now Soaz closing in from behind, but maybe more like caught out by Ryu. He is walking the dog, but he will manage to get away over the wall into the open arms of Forgiven. Definitely walk the plank on that one.
Yeah, Origen chasing that one kill on the Alistar support, but they forget that H2K was just looking at the play and collapsing around them. Soaz goes for the teleport flank, but the fight turns away from him. Really good aggressive pulverized flash there from Vander, forces PoE over the wall, and then suddenly Amazing found himself isolated alone. A little bit of an overchase at a point where Origen simply wasn't strong enough, and now another pick onto Miffy.
Catfish not looking too good in this one. Ryu hops forwards, lands the chains, but here's the punish from Amazing, or the re-punish from H2K, as Amazing was just dead. He comes into the middle lane, go back to base.
Yeah, things looking grim here. Origen calm and collected that. Red buff steal plus side lane farm gave the indication of absolute control over the game, and suddenly they lose it because you don't need to give H2K much and they will take it all. Vander acted like he was caught and turned that play around, and he was just buying time for his team to figure out what the play was, and they all committed to it. Really good synergy here by H2K. This is where it all starts. Vander moving, has flash. At any point can he flash, by the way. He flash upwards right here, but he's Careless Charm. And look, the team is talking, can we turn? Teleport top, so they say turn, 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 turn. Teleport comes in now, and Amazing finds himself isolated. Just keep your eyes on Soaz on the top of the screen. He gets one barrel destroyed, and Odoamne just does a great job with a counter TP on the Warden River. And just soaks up damage, uses his CC, and Soaz is alone.
It was actually really cool to see Vander hold his flash and headbutt, then he could secure the kill on Amazing, and then of course Soaz just an easy kill after that. Just because he was off to the sides, and OG did not have that team fight in the bag. 0-3 in this game are Origen. I definitely feel like H2K and Vitality, you were talking about it before, but you take an inch, they take a mile. And they just find these small advances and small ways to open up the game that it's just so other teams just don't see.
Yeah, and you can call it shot calling, as we see Mithy here getting picked off again. Ryu likely will finish him off straight off the bat then. You can call it shot calling, but it's more of a shared mindset.
Yeah.
Players know what the goal is. If you look at Jankos and Vander, they share the same mindset, vision-wise. Then the team right there, they initiate the turn and everybody's working together on the correct target. And they kind of bait Origen into making a misplay. It wasn't H2K initiating that play. That's the beauty of it. Great teams will lure you into a false sense of security, make it seem that you're making a good play, and suddenly they turn it all around and you just step into your untimely demise.
Power of Evil off just below this dragon. Looking for the potential steal. Comes out with Charm and a lot of damage onto Vander. He still had his ultimate, still had exhaust, and Jankos will pick up that dragon. So have that one that first one of the game.
Yeah, gotta be careful though. The return from REQ obviously being true damage. You panic pop your ulti, you will still die. PoE not willing to commit. Could have technically committed with ulti and ignite.
Yeah.
Coulda, woulda, shoulda. Dragon goes to H2K.
I mean, Jankos didn't have kick either, so it was a potential good play, but so hard to call in the heat of the moment. Amazing, just going to take the crab on the top side of the map. Both abyssals have been completed as a dark seal from Power of Evil at 13 minutes into the game. So he's looking to go big this game, or go home real hard.
Yep. Looking at the win conditions though for Origen, not the Rift Herald, that's an option. Soaz is still in the game. Even though that teleport cost him a lot of momentum, Odoamne's teleport was traded too. He's up about 20 CS right now that Odoamne will equalize. And he's just looking at getting his Triforce as soon as he can. And the gold lead is only 1,000 here, but H2K have a way of kind of setting up the towers and then taking them all in a sweeping fashion, and suddenly you find yourself behind 4,000. What was just 1,000 right here. So we'll need an aggressive defense from Origen.
H2K like playing dominoes, you know, just setting them up so they can topple them all at the same time. Power of Evil pushing down the bottom lane now. I mean, he doesn't have TP, so this could be potentially risky, especially without vision control.
It's good though, you have to do it. Side lane control and going to push it out is important. Little hesitation though.
Yeah.
He's lurking. He's very, very afraid right now. If you look at the minimap, his movement patterns indicate that they're not quite sure what to do. Look at how afraid Power of Evil is moving up. Unless he's waiting for somebody to be picked off, which is unlikely. He has been wasting a lot of time there.
I mean, from his perspective, there are 3 people off the map and they don't have wards in the bottom side, so they just don't have the information straight up. So he's playing it cautious, but now he arrives and he didn't actually really push the wave that much.
He maybe got like 4 creeps on the wave that was also pushing. So a little bit of communication error there. Was maybe hoping to catch the wave as it bounced back, but if the point you made is absolutely correct, because if you look at the contrary, H2K, 4 pink wards.
Do it.
3 at the jungle entrances, 1 more next to the river burst. Any H2K member can disappear into Fog of War and put a massive amount of pressure on the map right now. Origen can't. They have no way of knowing what is warded, what is not. So they have to resort to these plays here, hiding in the brush.
Power of Evil with the first Spirit Rush goes in for the second, is trying to bait out Ryu's movements, his distortion spells. There comes the ultimate from Soaz.
Jankos flanking though.
Comes in from the side, he's got the ultimate, he's got the flash, the ult into Ryu, lands the sigil, and it's all just mind games now, but he manages to catch the fox and he goes down. Jankos will be the one with that kill, 5-0 now.
Again, because Power of Evil went for the play, but he couldn't see the rotation and it was too late. The vision of H2K extends deep into Origen jungle, and they have vision denial. All these pink wards here, every time somebody makes a move, not only do they get spotted, they slow down to kill the pink ward. Such a good vision synergy here across the board. Led, or spearhead rather, by Jankos and Vander.
Most interesting thing to me is OG had the advantage early game in terms of summoner spells. Power of Evil had the tempo in the mid lane. Ryu has assisted 4 out of the 5 kills so far. Jankos has basically set all of them up. And H2K have somehow still managed to be ahead of the play. It's just incredible to me.
Yeah, really good combat mechanics and just understanding of how your opponent will react. And that is a concept that a lot of teams struggle with. Is it's not about your plays necessarily, it's about predicting what your opponent is going to do and then being flexible and having these 4 pink wards in set up. Ryu can just push out mid every time, move to the right, and he has to hide, and he doesn't even have to move anywhere. Just standing in the rush just puts pressure. Can walk back mid, push it up again, go back, and that's why winning matchups is so important in the mid lane. And the counter pick for LeBlanc on Ryu here, definitely a contributing factor, even in spite of the level 1.
Yeah, reads are a big part of this game, which is almost invisible unless you really think about it and really break it down. But Power of Evil and Soaz going towards the bottom side of the map. Dragon will be up in just shy of 2 minutes. The Herald is up. Odoamne also on the bottom side. I believe he's been seen by a ward.
Yeah, maybe just not. If it's just a normal ward, trinket ward, it doesn't spot the bump location.
Yeah, radius.
Yeah, it's a blue trinket ward by Origen that was placed. I just checked. But the fact that your top laner and mid laner are holding hands, looking to pick off a tank top laner, yeah. That's just, and again, H2K, they switch it up too. You know, Ryu, he was bottom earlier, no, suddenly he is top. They don't operate in a predictable fashion, and they're always flexible in terms of their reaction. And that is what makes them one of the best teams in Europe. Despite losing to Vitality, they may still well be the best team in Europe.
Very, very possible. Just a nice thing that by Ryu, he walked through them anyway to group them so he could double distort them all in one go. Now on the bottom lane, Origen are pushing up this tower. Should be going down in the next push, but Jankos is there to react with Vander.
Good move by Origen. The failed kind of pick-off turns into a 4-man group siege. Started in the mid lane, rotating to bot. Meanwhile, they leave Sven to control the wave in the mid lane, so they kind of catch H2K by surprise here. Surprisingly good move by Origen. Almost get that tier 2 tower.
Yeah, but they got a lot of chip damage onto it, so next time they go towards that objective, they will be able to take it down, just finding the opportunity to do so. Soaz will be pushing out the rest of that wave. Has picked up the Triforce now, so he's hit his first item spike. Haven't seen if he's picked up anything in his ultimate yet, but no doubt he should have those Silver Serpents. And now is the kind of time we really start to accelerate how many Serpents he gets mid lane. Sven almost picked off by Jankos, but still had the Valkyrie. Alright, so taking up that blue buff now. In terms of the rest of my item builds, we're hitting spikes all over the board. Sven also picking up his Triforce, got 2 item spike onto Forgiven, in fact, with the Essence Reaver and the Rapid Fire Cannon. Yeah. So I haven't really seen too much movement from that, despite the changes in 6-3 and a small burst 2 shift.
No, definitely in this composition too, where Forgiven's the only real sieging tool you have, like LeBlanc. Can hit towers a little bit, but it doesn't go quick. You know, you definitely want those shots from Lucian, and having a few of those being extra range definitely helps out with Lucian.
Mid lane push now coming in. They have the Rift Herald. I believe they gave it Forgiven. Yeah, that makes the most sense. And Miffy will be clearing this one out by himself as they move into the top side. But you can see how much control H2K have over this game, just moving from lane to lane, having this vision control set up. And OG are finding it difficult.
And H2K, they almost seem to treat vision as an objective. They push out the lanes to get the vision in between the lane. Then they use that vision to safely push them out again later on. It's a 2 or 3 step process kind of, and that's where a lot of teams yesterday failed on Baron plays. Hang on. This is the step 4, the actual siege with side lane vision. Good ultimate here though from Soaz, slowing that push down.
They keep the tower alive, and meanwhile in the bottom lane, Soaz is doing his own push, and in the mid lane, there's also a push coming in from Sven. So they are putting pressure on 2 sides of the map.
H2K have to force here.
They try to make it happen. The flash and the pulverize does not connect onto anyone from OG. They pick up this 1 tower, but that should be 2 in return. An outer mid turret and a bottom inner. Yeah,
H2K going for the plays with the D-Vision, but Origen decided to take control of the tempo with a fantastic cannon barrage there from Soaz. They slow down the destruction of that tower by 1 additional wave, allowing Sven and Soaz to push on those 2 lanes. Tier 2 bot lane gets traded, and again, Origen, as long as they can keep trading towers, that's what they want. Accelerate the game so eventually Gangplank gets online.
Dragon is also up. Jankos looking to make a play onto Amazing, but Miffy is there to save him with a Devour Soaz, recalling just around that corner. That was actually seen out by Vander, just pinged it down. Now Dragon is up, but there is a pause. Tension intensifies.
I mean, there's 4 pause at least on Italy. Who else was paused?
Oh, man. That took like about 2-3 seconds too long for me.
No?
That wasn't good.
No, okay. Fine, I'll go to NA, where people do appreciate these word plays.
Oh, I appreciate it. It just took me too long to understand what you meant, which was the bad thing. But we're just going to see what the problem is. I believe it was a blue team pause, as we can see on screen, by Origen.
Yeah, we'll eventually get that information.
Yeah.
For now, plenty of stuff to talk about. Item builds here. Let's track the jungles real quick. We have Warrior Lee Sin. And we have... I can't actually see it. Let's just... Is it a Runeglaive? Has to be a Runeglaive, right?
Yes,
yeah, it's in Italy. Of course it's a Runeglaive.
Yeah.
Why am I even double checking?
It's Warrior.
It's Warrior in Italy. Roll a second, so that's a very big scaling... scaling build from Amazing, so definitely investing into the late game.
So as an update, the problem that OG have is they see Vander with his ultimate on. It's just the animation. He doesn't have ultimate all the time. So currently that is being investigated into. So we should have an update on that one very shortly. But about 21 minutes into the game, we're going to see if that was literally just a visual bug. So
yep. So all Origin members are reconnected to the game right now. Hopefully they can do that right now.
I mean, the fix is always turn it off and on again.
Yeah, the introduction of team timers, though, definitely help a lot in that. Because back in the day when you had all these timers in chat, you were like, no, referee, I would like not like to reconnect because I have like 7 million blue buffs and red buffs time. But now you can obviously do that. Origin reconnecting, hopefully fixing that visual error that you have. You can play off sound, but you obviously want to know exactly when he's ulting and when he's no longer has it available. Yeah,
it is a big deal when it comes to competitive play because something Kobe was talking about actually is how you react to sounds more quickly than you do to visual cues.
Oh, definitely so.
Yeah. But Power of Evil, this is just the punish coming in from H2K.
No, the reaction to visual to sound cues is very big for the players. So they'll obviously know when the Alistar ulti comes on. The problem is if this persists as we watch Jankos outplay Power here. If the problem persists, obviously you never know when the Alistar ulti drops, and you need to attack on that exact frame.
Yeah.
And that's why we obviously want to get that fixed. Vander though, playing pretty well this so far, especially that turnaround from as a team effort from H2K was impressive. They fell behind level 1 pretty far though, and Origen got a lot of momentum out of that.
Yeah, but that was quickly stopped by H2K, who then just turned the momentum on OG like they never even didn't have it in the first place.
Yeah, it makes you wonder though what this game would have been if the level 1 went even. Imagine if you went actual lanes, because Ryu, despite being down a flash, played with and being ganked by Amazing once and going down to like maybe what was it, like 5-10 HP?
Yeah, it was one auto attack.
Yeah, one auto attack away. It actually was like 80 HP because it was one auto and red buffs, but like, the HP doesn't matter. Ryu was low, and he got forced out, and he still managed to be only down like 6 CS, and now, while he's pushing the side lanes, he's actually even slightly ahead of Power of Evil. So definitely that's such a strong winning matchup in the hands of Rio versus Power.
And Jankos as well has really just been setting up this game. But we did see a good play from OG just before this pause hit with the pressure in the mid lane, the pressure in the bot lane.
Yeah, they've surprised on some rotations,
yeah.
Just in general. Like they've opened up some towers that H2K were kind of expecting not being sieged on. And then suddenly, especially with good use of Cannon Barrage, they managed to slow down the tempo. They slowed down the push in the top lane. The players are now testing out whether it's fixed or not. That's why you saw them move a little bit. Game got paused again, just to keep you guys informed. Seems the visual bug is still there.
So just something that happens in those like 5 seconds is Dragon got picked up by H2K. In the grand scheme of things, not too much is going to come from it because that is now the extra damage you get on auto attacks against tower.
Yep.
Which is something Deficio was talking about earlier when I was talking to him yesterday. It's like it's better when you hit the tower once and back away because it's not the consistent damage you get from before, which was the percent damage against the towers. So we will actually be resuming the game. Let's hope it works out. You can see all the players prepping up as the timer counts down, and we are back into this one.
That's the dead dragon you were talking about. You didn't lie to the viewers.
I correctly predicted the dragon going down because I saw it.
The Oracle.
Yes.
The Oracle of Berlin.
We have the Prophet. I am the Oracle of Berlin.
Yeah.
Forgiven in the mid lane. Just farming this one out. Origin chance coming out here.
Yeah. Fan favorites definitely being Origen here.
Yeah.
Looking at what H2K is setting up, triple push here, but they don't have the most wave clear. They have one instance, which is the culling, and at that point, they need to pull Ryu away and put him in the flank, and then flank with a Nautilus ulti. This is something we saw Splice kind of forget to do. Try and flank with their double teleport. Ryu obviously running Ignite, but they're looking for a double pincer here. Origen pinging the sides. They know that Nautilus can TP. That's why they're proceeding with caution, but in the mid lane, H2K don't have that much wave clear, so if one mistake happens, somebody gets spotted, the towers will start melting.
The package is live on Sven, so he might be able to make a play in the next couple seconds. Just clearing out this mid lane, H2K pushing this one in. They won't go for the siege, they're just setting up the wave so they can try and find a place where they can make a play happen. Here's that flank you're talking about from the sidelines from Nautilus, lands the dredge line. Did not have to use the flash for that one, still keeps hold of the depth charge, so they can just rinse and repeat and use that play again.
Yep. They started that play in typical H2K fashion. Spread out, push all lanes, group somewhere, force a play. Other people react by respecting your zone. They back off. Then you put vision down, or you just make a pick, burn a summoner, and then you set it all up again. Rinse and repeat. Complete control of, what the correct play, macro play is in this meta.
The other thing is the bottom lane is now pushing in favor of Origin, so that's pushing away, so someone will have to clear that at some point, and it will be Odawame, who is ported back to base and is now going into the bottom lane. He has teleport, so it's not the biggest deal in the world. He's also not going for the ZZ Rock banner build just yet, because he's gone for the Iceborne Gauntlet and some Fire Cape.
And yeah, because OG don't have deep vision, or any vision whatsoever, other than in the mid lane. Look at the wards they have. They just can't predict when somebody's moving to clear that wave. They will see Odawame just as he arrives at the wave. That's when OG will start forcing, but look at the culling. That wave is gone, so you need to wait 30 seconds for the next one. At that time, Odawame has translated that pushing wave to him into a push onto Origen, adding pressure again. And that's because of the lack of vision here. You can't make those plays as easily against a team with good deep vision because they'll spot you moving to the lanes quicker and play more aggressive.
Constant pressure coming out from H2K. Now the top lane's pushing, so someone will have to put that one out as well. Here comes the teleport though, trying to force the issue. Power of Evil, the Q connects, and Jankos will follow up on top of the Tam Kench. There's the depth charge onto the tank though. Do they have enough damage to finish him up? Grey Health comes in, and they should be able to take down Miffy. There it is. But the ultimate out from Soaz could be big as the retreating Vander and Odawame. They are at critical levels of HP. Ultimately, that is a 1-for-0 for H2K.
Yeah, and in 4v5, H2K H2K confirmed that they really do not like Tahm Kench, completely focus him down. Soaz was not in that fight though, tried to help out with his ultimate, decided not to teleport in, so now there's TP advantage, traded for the support. If Origen can hold, they can turn this around in a minute from now.
There's the barrels coming in from the side from Soaz, trying to chunk down some of the members from H2K. 3 minions remaining. They may be able to pick up this tower. Rio's going to get it and actually distortion hop away. Soaz is on the chase with Power of Evil. There comes the culling, and that will completely stop them. That's really nice from Forgiven there.
Yeah, H2K turn that support pick off into a tower. Teleport advantage is up here for Origen though, but they can use that to control the map. H2K haven't based in ages either. But they're looking for the engage on Sven.
Hook on Sven, he'll be jumping away. Ryu was there to punish him though and takes him out the chains coming out there. Jankos will be backing away, and Miffy and Amazing knocked up. Amazing dropping low, the flash aggressively by Forgiven. Power of Evil dipping and diving in the back line, dodges out of the way of the dredge line, and after all of that, a 3-4-1 in that trade with H2K.
Yeah, uncharacteristic for Sven. It really just, this weekend has not been great for him. He's been hit by so many skill shots, overextending, trying to force the siege, just walking straight into melee range from a Nautilus, and then what Ryu did there, absolutely beautiful. W distortion in, mimic distortion, and then after the flash, connect the chains. Sven was, yeah, he ran out of gap closes right there. Origen kind of pushing the issue a little bit too quickly. No calm and controlled gameplay, very reactive, not set up.
But in terms of how well H2K work together and how many plays they set up, look at the kill participation. 4-0-4 on Forgiven, KDA not found, and then 4-0-5. Like, everyone's taking so much part in all these plays, and there's another one.
And this is where it starts falling apart here. If you look at the vision, if only you could see just what Origen is seeing right here. They have barely any wards on the map, and H2K right now, very little either, but they're looking to control the Baron here. The one blue trinket's been cleared. Look at Origen. They have no clue. Are they doing it? Are they baiting it?
Yeah.
You have to guess. Flip a coin.
They're pinging it, they just don't know. They're being so hesitant about this play. Now they're being seen, and H2K will make a play onto Amazing. He steps too far forward. Miffy there to save him. Now H2K in full advance onto OG. Miffy dropping low, hasn't popped the E just yet. Now will pop it as Ryu puts a little bit more damage onto him. Spear connects. He'll have to jump over the wall, that being Yankos. And Odawame is still waddling about on Nautilus. Middle tower will go over to Origen.
Origen with the correct face check mechanics. Send in your somebody first, and then Tahm Kench right behind them. Don't send in the Kench first. Allow yourself to use the Devour and the Grey Health. They turn around that Baron play, get a middle lane tower for it. Good though, but H2K, they were so close to getting a pick off into a Baron here. Let's watch that again. Sven, look at the siege, just walks up straight, gets, yeah, hooked, flashes out. Look at the chain right here. Somehow connects up to Sven right next to Power of Evil. Ryu is the Korean Angelina Jolie. Bends the chain.
Yeah, when you shoot up the chain and then jump back, it always goes to its end location. So it's one of those cool mechanics. Odawame didn't quite land the dredge line, otherwise that would have been another kill onto Origen. Now Dragon is alive. Origen are going to be taking this one away most likely. This will be the first one of the game, so getting the extra combat stats for themselves.
Yep.
Delaying a potential 5 dragons from H2K, but that's not really what they're playing around this game.
Cheeky little lane ward by Vander in the mid lane. Again, look at the deep vision immediately. H2K, you lose an objective, we trade that for vision. Origen could safely do it because they themselves had Baron vision, so they could at least see what H2K was up to, but it's getting dark again.
Full of terrors.
Baron area is dark and full of terrors. Indeed. Full of pink wards too.
Yep. Full of Yankos, who's waiting for a flank. He's ready to go. Oh. He's looking for Power of Evil. There's the kick right into Ryu.
That was so well played.
Unreal.
Yeah, that's when that's how you tilt the enemy team. Just the fact that that play was, because you know it's set up. When that happens to you, you know that they saw your every move and decided to completely outplay you. While you're traveling in the kick, you can't do anything. PoE had no flash available either. That was a fantastic pickoff here. And again, it all starts with step number 1 and 2. Step 1, pushed away. Step 2, get the vision. Step 3, capitalize on that vision somehow. Fantastic play by Yankos and Ryu.
Step for profit, and now they go on to the Baron itself. Miffy is being poked away by the culling. Ryu is off to the side, just waiting for a potential pick to close in to get the assassination out. Miffy will save his ally. Vander has popped the ultimate. He's earning away the team, but he may fall himself. Baron is not even close to dying. Amazing in with the punish here. This was a potential throw coming in from H2K. Forgiven has been exhausted. There's a rocket. There's a takedown. And now onto Odawame. He'll be looking for the hook, but he's eaten up. He will not be surviving. 3-0 for OG.
3 kills for OG on the board right here. Ryu, the only member remaining. He has to turn this around with distortion and mimic. It all started with H2K going for that Baron, but Ryu wasn't hitting it. Vander peeled off too early. Ryu didn't get the kill here. If he lives, this has to be Baron.
Yep, Ryu can't jump back in. He's got the flash, but they just need to split the aggro on the Baron. And they still have vision over the
Jankos is here.
He's coming in, lands the Q, not quite. And Amazing will take down the Baron. OG with a potential big turnaround in this game.
Yeah, and this is where we have to start looking at H2K's composition. Tanky Nautilus, not good at Baron. Forgiven, disengaging with culling, not hitting Baron, hitting wards. Jankos is only one hitting Baron right now. Vander turns way too early. They're not using the zone and the threat from a potential Ryu collapse. Now Ryu turns around on Baron because he tries to burn it because he realizes we can't win the fight. But Forgiven's peeling off for the fight anyways. This is miscommunication and not playing to the same goals by H2K, and a fantastic capitalization overall from Origen. Brute forcing in. This is the second time they really used that Tahm Kench to the maximum potential here, and just we have to applaud the pick because I don't think a Braum could have had as much impact in these Baron face checks as a Tahm Kench.
I've got to agree, and also Soaz's ultimate was perfect. It straight up just split the people in the pit from the people trying to contest, so they could never even join each other even if they wanted to. It was just everything went so well for Origen in that fight, but that's the risk with going for Baron. And usually H2K are strong with those plays, but this time was punished by OG. This may be a punish coming in from H2K as the combo comes out from Vander.
And look at those numbers, up to 1,000 already on the barrels. Every misstep H2K make, they lose some time, and time is money, especially for Gangplank here. Looking at the Mao Mimoshes here, carry. PoE actually went for the Magi's. Not quite sure how I feel about that.
We'll see how much they can get off this Baron power play. There's another jump in by Vander. Jankos is there, lands the kick onto Power of Evil. He's against the wall. There's a depth charge. The flank by Odawame. This could be good by H2K in terms of this fight. Miffy is going to be dropping down. The chains do not connect. A 2-0 over to H2K. Fantastic punish in front of the tower.
Yeah, another good teleport home guard flank this time from Odawame. H2K understanding that if you come from the front door against his composition, you will not get anything done. You need that flank component, and Sven gets picked off again. It all starts with the setup though. Those wards are always there. Somehow H2K always have a ward to teleport to. But they've made some mistakes though, and Origen, if they can just force one more mistake, they can definitely stay in this game.
Power of Evil Ryu is actually now in the base. He's got distortion, so he will be able to jump back out again. But he's just providing as much pressure as he can as the team is pushing in. Meanwhile, in the side lanes though, this may force H2K to back up because there is big pushes from Origen.
Yeah, Origen could turn this play around. They could start working with some pressure here. There's no Baron to take, but side lanes are pushing. Look at this again. This fight looks so good from Origen's side, right? They're so happy with the way this fight is going right now. And then suddenly, around the corner, Odawame comes in. He zones out Power of Evil, then gets the snare on Sven and Mitty. Complete. Yeah, fantastic flank here. He basically CCs 3 enemies in this fight and forces them to react around his plays. Fantastic collapse from H2K.
Also, take a look at the Baron power play. It went from over 2,000 gold and dropped to just under 300. It's now back up to 500. They picked up a bit more CS on the side lanes, but a 500 Baron power play is not what OG wanted over the last 3 minutes.
This time they're wary of the flank though. Package gets used defensively to get some siege out. They just want to buy time. Origen looking to scale here. It all rests on Soaz in the late game though, because Skorky isn't particularly well scaling champion. Lily obviously does well in the late game with damage wise, but gotta keep your eyes on Soaz. He has to carry the late game.
Ryu here with Odawame, both sitting on top of a ward, and the spear will connect. Bit of poke damage, but it's not pure damage out from Amazing. He's also been going for Roa. Take a look at everyone backstage watching this game. There's so much on the line, and this is an incredibly close one, 33 minutes into the game. This has been blown wide open by Origen's play.
Yeah, these guys are taking notes. It's very fun to be in that area, actually, watching a game. Wealth of opinions flows out. Oh, this guy did that wrong. It's kind of, it's the thing, this is why you need coaches. Hang on, I'll get into that later, because we see a potential Fnatic brush here.
Yeah, that was an easier read than Green Eggs and Ham for H2K. Of course, Origen were going to be that.
I've actually never read Green Eggs and Ham. Huh? Maybe that's why.
Maybe. But,
I died to face checks all the time.
Maybe that's the source of all your problems, Grappo, and this could be the source of H2K's problems. Odawame comes in with a flank, but the team isn't there. They already backed away, maybe not reading from the same page. Jankos will be jumping in, knocks away Sven, but this is all over the place. Odawame will be taken out on the back lines. Ryu now jumps in. Jankos is going to go down, and Origen keep this one together.
Operation Flanker Z completely fails on the side from H2K. Origen turn on the weak side of the flank. Odoamne as the rest of the members disengage, and now Soaz is still on full HP here. Is on half HP here, as Origen is looking to set up the siege.
Oof, Ryu over the wall, didn't land anything else other than the sigil, but gets the bounce from the Luden's proc there. H2K repel the push in the mid lane, still have those 2 kills, so that means Amazing will be able to go for this dragon. Baron is up in just under 2 minutes. Now is the time that OG needs to utilize that pressure they just got to establish that vision.
All right, how does this end up working? So H2K are working with the information that Origen is in his exact location, so they know. Odoamne is looking for the flank. See a force engage combo down here. Oh, fantastic devour here from Mithy. It seems like H2K is hitting their head on the same stone repetitively. Because every failed play has been involving a really key devour from Mithy. With all those face checks on Baron, devour from Mithy. Somebody goes in first, he gets eaten, and then get pulled out of the fight. Don't send your support in to face check anymore. Not with Tom Kench. Completely changes the play pattern. So a little bit of a greedy engage there. Well baited by Origen. They're seeming to really understand the power of that Devourer.
A lot of surprises for me in this game because one, H2K taking the proactivity after being behind at the start of the game. OG now coming back into the game, even though H2K usually at this point have strangled out a team, and OG have broken out of the grip and actually evened up this game. There's only 1,000 gold between it now, which is basically nothing at the 35-minute mark. You're looking at the towers almost even with 6 going over to H2K. The dragons are even, so we're not looking at aspect. Baron is really where the big contest will come over. Or maybe a punish in the middle lane. Miffy has eaten up his AD carry. He's going to get locked down. There's the Grey Health. He's taking a lot of damage, but there's the Depth's Daughter Empowered Ultimate. Forgiven takes out Power of Evil, who was just in the back lines. And now Sven will also be caught out on top of that. What is happening in this game?
We need to see that again. How did Power of Evil end up in that situation? Let's see. Vander Flash wasn't used, so must have been a combo somewhere. Good re-engage there. Fantastic timing on the Grey Health by Mithy, but Origen were not ready for that play, and H2K now moving as a death ball. Oof.
Damage going there onto Vander. The mid lane push is coming out. Odoamne tanking up the tower to keep the minions alive, so they get the backdoor bonus. And now this inhibitor will also be falling. This should be them backing away now. And again, the barrel landing, so the longer they stay, the more poke that Soaz gets, and Amazing is now behind them. He may be caught out, though. There's complete control in terms of vision by H2K.
That jungle used to belong to Origen, but he should be fine, though. He's moving towards Time Kench. But again, I feel like a broken record, but the deep vision from H2K is always there. They always have it set up. Ryu right now, Distortion's down. There's Mimic available.
Beep boop. Got Ryu.
Saves the Mimic. Baron's down.
Yeah. Ryu just really just playing around with OG in the jungle, keeping them at bay, so H2K could easily take away that Baron. Nice setup by those guys.
Yeah, poke by calling, Soaz is on half HP. Then goes in, Valkyrie gets cancelled. That's a bit of miscommunication here. Theory trying to flank. Let's see the reaction from Vander. He has to do instant combo here. Yep. Yeah. Instant combo, and obviously on 6.3, Alistair combo got changed, and it's really hard to miss what to get out of right now. So Theory not respecting that re-engage there from Vander. Good read though. Instant reaction on that play.
Yeah, that one was a hard read. Now Jankos will clear away these wards, so once again re-establishing the vision control. Now we see the Baron play on H2K.
Show you how it's done.
Yes, let's go. Okay, so OG managed to get to 2K and then drop to 500. So I'm going to say H2K, let's say 3,000 gold.
All right, I'm going to go with 4.2K.
4.2K, okay. Maybe up to 5.5, we'll see. And there comes the spear. Now sieging in this top lane. Forgiven with the culling. Zones away the backline completely. Soaz will now walk back in. There's the barrels coming out. Down to about
They're sieging
40%.
They're sieging into a gangplank though, and your Baron buff may make you very happy though, but those creeps are only stronger against magic damage, and so as his barrels, well, they deal physical. So the wave evaporates, half a tower is done. Look at Forgiven, he needs to hit this tower. Cannon Barrage comes in.
He's dropping quickly. Ryu's over the wall. He's trying to just look for a target to blow up, and that pressure alone is forcing Origen into this small, compact group, which is perfect for a Northers and Alistair to abuse. Ryu just popped his W. Looking to potentially get on top of him was Mithy and Soaz, but he's just walked behind the minion line. And slowly, H2K are just chipping away at Origen.
Yeah, Ryu with the good side lane pressure. Doesn't have to group with the team, otherwise he just eats so many spears. Keeping Soaz busy. If Soaz is not near the main flock of people from H2K, that inhibitor will fall. Odoamne with the stylish points. Pays for it though.
So much damage though, and Forgiven will back away behind the Alistair. OG may have just done enough to repel that assault for now. Because Odawame will not be coming back into this fight very quickly. He's now recalling back to base.
Yeah, in pure unbiased manner though, I do want to see some kills here on the side of H2K. Ideally in the value of roughly 2,000 gold. Origen lose to inhibitors. This is where it gets rough. Playing against a team of H2K's caliber in terms of closing potential, with a little bit of Baron buff left, with 2 open inhibs. Tricky, tricky, tricky. This is where Origen kind of needs to find a way to flank, but they don't have anybody that can really flank, so they're playing very predictive gameplay, so they need to surprise. That's all they can do. See if they can read the game better and find an opening that H2K wasn't accounting for.
But H2K are typically watertight when it comes to that. It's so difficult to find opportunities. Sven recalling here. Jankos didn't quite find him. There's the blue trinket coming out. So a lot is happening kind of under the hood right now in terms of vision control.
That's why it sometimes seemingly goes slow, because H2K respect potential outplays. They respect potential brushes that you could be hiding in. Look how the warding duo isn't moving beyond the line where they're required. So they know if they get engaged upon, they always have the backup right next to them. It's all a well-oiled machine. But Wamne is not near the team because he knows he needs to push in those waves. Even though if there's super creeps, you need to make sure the waves roughly hit at the same time.
And it just got increasingly difficult for H2K to make the siege happen because Baron is now down. Those 2 inhibitors did fall, so there is pressure in those other lanes, and H2K are waiting for that and actually trying to accelerate the process with Odawame on the teleport northless in the middle lane. So just trying to push this one in, force people to come react, and maybe H2K can take this last inhibitor turret.
Yeah, it's a game of minutes at this point. It's just waiting for that massive top wave to funnel in right there. 2 buffed up creeps in there. Mid wave is coming in. Odam is now hitting the flank. Now we can zone people off this tower and maybe we can get some damage on. But H2K is fine as long as they don't need too many spears right here or rockets. They need to be healthy enough to commit to this when these waves hit the tower though.
Double sigil onto Sven. Takes him very low. He will be healed there briefly by Nili. We'll go back to base. Now Soaz is on healing duty. He's on tower defense. This is the wave for H2K to make the play and OG to try and defend it.
Yeah, Odoamne peeling in right here. The minions are in the base. Ven is dealing with it. Soaz too. Cannon Barrage gets used.
All right. The holding for now. There's the culling, chunking down Miffy. Actually a lot of damage coming out there. Another heal coming in from Amazing.
It's a good hold, and that's the setup kind of ruined. You know, both those waves hit at the same time at the Nexus, but somehow Origen hang on. Inhibitor spawns. This will be very hard to keep alive though.
Yeah.
The tower to defend. Good spear by Amazing. Just keep them at bay. He goes in.
The wall and more chunk damage onto Power of Evil. Can't finish him off, but it may be enough to take down this inhibitor. Yeah, the front line is there. And the Dredge line was looking for an ambitious hook onto one of the squishies, so not going to happen right now. And now OG should be able to hold for a little bit. Now HK are backing away. They'll go for the easy dragon. But yeah, both teams are just playing exceptionally. H2K looking for those more advantages, taking down inhibitor when it spawns. OG holding the bottom tower. Usually when you have 2 inhibitors down, it is next to impossible to hold, but Origen just pulled it off.
They have really good wave clearance zone here. I don't think H2K is actually looking to get this inhib. They'll make the play because they have nothing else to do. And if they get it, nice. But they're looking to keep up the pressure. Jankos gets feared here.
Soaz is coming in here. Trial by Fire is going to be eaten up by Miffy, so that's not going to be down for another couple seconds. And now Sven is under attack. He may be taken out here. Jankos wants him. He kicks him away, gets the ignite. This could be curtains now for OG as Sven got caught. Odawane is looking to lock people down. There's that combo coming in from Vanda. Miffy will also be falling. And just like that, there are the dominoes all falling over. And H2K lined it up perfectly. Just like that, they finish them off. Take down Origen, and this Nexus is falling. What a game by H2K.
Yeah, hugs all around, well deserved, and seems to have taken a lot of them. H2K is not happy with this win.
Yeah.
Okay, Vander is happy with this win.
Yeah. But I think they can be happy about that one. There were a couple mistakes maybe mid-game.
H2 what? H2K! H2 what? H2K! H2 what? H2K!
H2 what?
But when he joins the team, now he's happy. But yeah, a couple mistakes in the mid-game. Origen did manage to punish, but ultimately, good game by H2K.
Yeah, let's leave the analysis though. Just let's talk about that chant. H2 what? H2K. I think teams need more creative chants. I'm really glad H2K is innovating in the chanting game. It used to be 1, 2, 3 team name. But right now it's H2 what?
I like the evolution. Gets the crowd involved.
Yeah, it's the first step to really, once we get these licensing deals down, to have intro music. Team comes on. Rocket team starts playing.
It's true, because some players have kind of just evolved, like Steve. You know, he didn't really have to do anything. He just named himself Steve, and the crowd's behind him. But when you create something like that, you create a brand.
Yeah.
My brand.
That man right there on the screen, though, absolute genius. When it comes to League of Legends macro, Prawley. We had the chance to sit down with him this week a little bit in a feature that hopefully will release next week for Coaches Week. And I just must say my respect for Prawley has definitely increased in that brief window where I listened to him. Even though some of his statements I didn't necessarily agree with, but the amount of vigor and passion that he had around it and how he can execute his particular coaching style is, yeah, you just have to respect it. And I think he is just not talked about enough, because you can plug and play any player into H2K and you will have a good macro team. They change so many players, and how often do we see it when a team changes their core, their fundamentals, and they just stick to the same playstyle? It's just so impressive. And if you look at the structure that H2K has, it is pretty much only Prawley, so we can't but praise him.
I mean, the team that's only